Hello and welcome to episode 3 of the Gamer 101 podcast. I'm your host Lukasz, and today, again, I'm joined by my good friend, Pete.
Thank you for inviting me and having me third time in a row. What a honor! What an
What a
honor!
surprise!
What an honor!
Yeah, you're kind of the co-host, so you have to be here. You were promoted from one-time guest to co-host in one episode. Today, we're gonna talk Red Dead, we're gonna talk Fallout, we're gonna go talk BlizzCon, we're gonna talk some future project of ours, and of course we're gonna play mine's and yours favorite game.
Which is Guess Who, and finally, I hope I'll guess correctly, and then it's my pick for the next time.
There's always a first. So
Let's not get ahead.
let's get right to it because there's plenty things to talk about. We've been playing a lot of what?
A lot of Red Dead, obviously.
And what do we think about Red Dead?
You go first right now. Well, previously, I've been always the one to give my opinion first, so you do the honors right now.
All right. To be honest, little disappointed.
Okay, what exactly are you disappointed
Okay,
about? Let's
to
go
be
into
to be
further
fair,
details.
I only am at the beginning of chapter 3, but it's kind of not fun all the time. It's fun when I do something. It's not fun all the rest of the time.
Which isn't good to hear for an open world game.
Yeah, we talk during the week usually, sometimes, and I would almost prefer if this was not an open world game. I like the story so far. I like the characters, or I hate some of the characters, but I guess that's what they were going for. I like the feeling of, okay, I saw some westerns growing up, and it's fun to go and rob someone and do this, and don't do it in real life, but it's fine to do it in video games. But when you're not doing anything, when you're just, okay, I'm moving from one place to another alone, or I'm sitting in the woods waiting for some animal to go to my lure. But fishing, that's great. Good fishing mechanic.
So finally, I believe you have been introduced to the fishing lately because it's quite a long time into the game.
Yeah.
When you get to the fishing.
Actually, that quest is what I like about the game. Without spoiling anything, you are told to go fishing. Mm-hmm. to clear your mind or whatever. And okay, so you go fishing, you fish, you talk with your friend there, and then all of a sudden, a cutscene happens and the plot gets moved on pretty rapidly from that point. And that's from a mission which was a tutorial on how to fish. So that's something that I like about the game. What I don't like about the game is you have to travel all the time alone, doing nothing. You meet some random encounters on the way, but it also gets pretty repetitive pretty soon. I've met like 7 people who claimed their horse died. Some of them turned out their horse died. Some of them were bandits. With these, oh, my horse died. Can you? I was on the way from one end to the map to another end to the map, or from one place to another place, which takes like 6 minutes to ride your horse there. On the halfway, I met this lady. Oh, my horse died. Can you take me somewhere? I'm like, sure. It's all the way back where you started. All right, get on. So I take her there. I go. Yeah, of course, I was very unhappy with the game at that time. But then, ending of chapter 2, that level, that was what I love about the game.
I believe it's chapter 3, by the way.
No. It's the last mission of chapter 2.
You got it wrong.
Is it last mission of chapter 3?
Yeah.
Okay, so sorry, I'm at the beginning of chapter 4 then.
Yeah, correct.
So that mission is great. You pretty much, you take all your crew and all together you go and you do something, which is really amazing. But the game just feels lonely. So I hope this is something that will be fixed with Red Dead Online. Just riding with your friends.
Yeah, possibly yes. So, any more thoughts that you want to add? As you have previously said, what are should you mention the strong points and the weak points of the game from what you've been playing so far? just name 3 and 3 or
Okay,
strong points and weak points.
yeah, the characters are good. The main story quest line is also pretty interesting, and the fishing, man, fishing.
Even
And what?
though, to be honest, it's really simple mechanic.
Yes,
Basically, it's just for edit there for fun, I guess.
yeah, and it's the kind of thing I do when I mean, that's why I'm only where I am, because I put fishing on. I go on the second camp or whatever. You can buy a boat, so I bought a boat. I went to the lake, and I was fishing there, and I had YouTube open, and I was listening to some podcast, or watching a video, and I was just fishing for 3 hours.
No, no.
Yes.
God, no.
Yes.
Don't tell me you've been fishing for that long.
Yes, I caught like a lot of fish.
I mean, we got all different tastes, so no judging that.
And what I don't like is the traveling, the shooting mechanics. It's Rockstar. They don't do great shooting, but
I feel it's 2018. I feel it's a little bit the thing of the past. The way they handle shooting is really back from the old days of
I'd say
15.
I'd say it's worse than GTA 5. I mean, if you don't get the lock, you're not hitting anything. I was, riding my horse as you do, and I was like, okay, screw this. I'm not gonna go on the road because that takes so much time. So I'm gonna cut through these woods, and I fall off the horse 17 times because the horse is blind. And I ran across this camp, and it's some of the other gangs that you meet. So I get into a shootout because immediately they recognize me and they start pulling their guns. So I jump down the horse, I start shooting them, and I hear some of them yelling. It was something like, make sure the lawman is coward or something. Apparently they had sheriff or police officer tied to a pole in the camp. And as I was shooting, you get these auto aim locks. So I was shooting them with my rifle. I'm like, boom, reload, boom, reload, and I was getting hits. You get the little red X that you hit, and with one of the auto locks, with one of the red things, I get a minus, minus morality. I'm like, what did I do? So I go there, and of course I shot the guy through the head. This poor policeman was tied there to a pole, and he was dead because he got into a shootout. Because
he shouldn't be there in the first place.
But he was tied to a pole.
Well, that's not an excuse for a police officer.
He shouldn't get captured, but sure. Okay, and that's the third thing I don't like. It's the morality system.
Or rather the honor system. I believe that's what they call it. But yeah, depending on the good or bad actions that you do throughout the world.
Because Arthur Morgan, he's a bad man. In each of the cutscenes, he's like, "Oh, I've put people in the ground before."
I remember what he is always saying, like, "You know what you are getting into, so pay the money back."
Yeah, he's just a head. He has no problems killing people, and then the game wants you to be a good person. And I even bought into it at the beginning. When early mission, you are robbing a train, and a couple of guys get captured, and you go there, and your leader Dutch, he tells you, "Oh, you can do whatever you want with them." And I was like, "Sure, I'll let them go." I got this morality system. If I knew how much it will be pissing me off 10 hours later, I wouldn't care, because he's a bad man. Why does the game want me to? There's even challenge for robbing people. There's a bandit challenge. And I have 0 of them because when I do it, I lose points. And the game forces you to be a good guy. Even when you put money in the camp thing, it gives you good guy points. I want to get good guy. It's not being a good guy. It's the rules of the camp to put money in the lockbox. You're not being a good guy. You're just doing what you're told to do.
I've got actually a funny story. As you move on in the story, you get quite a lot of money, and of course you want to upgrade your camp, so you donate to the camp. Everyone is glad. You got your honor up, your moral goes up. But then one time I returned to the camp and the lady stopped me and she said like, "Oh, Arthur, you didn't contribute to the camp recently." I was like, "Are you freaking kidding me? I put there almost $1,000. How am I not contributing?" She literally called me out on not paying there recently. I was like,
I had the same thing. I'm like, look at the ledger. If you open the ledger, it's like Arthur $300, Arthur this item, Arthur this item, Arthur this item. It's like 4 pages of Arthur, and then there's like Charles, fine belt, $0.5. I'm like, what? You assholes.
Yes, so with that in mind, I'm not gonna go really long or in full detail about the game. I just want to quickly touch on 2 points. The first point being, yeah, it feels like the whole honor or moral system wasn't intended from the beginning, because from the perspective or from the standpoint of you as an outlaw, compared to what you do with when you are not on the main stories, it's kind of contradicting one another. So I don't think, and they were really marketing it like, oh, in every single trailer they basically promoted you always have a choice, you can pick sides and the world will change and react to you, which it still does, and it does it fantastically. So you met someone who you helped a couple of hours ago, and the game remembers and he calls you out. Actually, I got a little story right now. It was more towards the end. I went to one city and the guy called my name. He was like, "Yeah, man, thank you for saving my life." So I walked towards him and he said, "You know what? Go visit the gunsmith and have one gun free for you." I was like, "That's really nice."
Yeah, but that's more scripted than it is natural. When they said, "Oh, they will react," I was more thinking.
No, it wasn't scripted, because I've been there plenty times and the guy just wasn't there.
But was the guy that you saved? Was it? It was one of these white dots you get on the map, right?
Yeah.
So what I was thinking it's gonna be, and I was maybe hoping that it's gonna be, and it would be super impressive. If it's that you can go into pretty much any shop and rob it. So I was thinking, okay, I go to the weapon shop or barber shop or whatever, I pull my gun on the clerk, I get the money, I maybe punch him in the face, and I run out. And I was thinking it's gonna be that if I go down that street again and maybe he sees me, it's like, "Oh, that's the guy who robbed me." But it's not that. It's only these people that are with these white dots, these encounters.
Yep. I think you had too many expectations, and
it would be super impressive.
But it would be so hard to pull that off, considering all the things that are in the game.
They did work on it for 7 years, so.
From what I've played, I'm not saying I can't see 7 years of work, but it didn't pay off in the end the way I imagined it would. I'm just gonna say the ending was very unsatisfying for me. That's one thing about the whole moral or honor system. The other thing, which I think is an issue, so pretty much every open world game, not only from Rockstar Games, has fast travel. I'm not saying that fast traveling is lame or for those people who are lazy and don't want to spend more time in the world or on the map as they normally do, but let's just put it there and let people decide if they want to use it or not, because here it's not, and with the horses it's really a struggle to go somewhere on the map, because the missions are spread across the map. Basically what it does, the main story is supposed to be for 60 hours, which according to how long to beat isn't by a far margin. It says only 45 average, but even those 45, at least 5 hours are wasted just by traveling between the quests.
Yeah. Well, also there is fast travel, but it's
kind of lame.
It's buying a train ticket or stagecoach or whatever.
Even though it's the second best-selling game in this generation, obviously right after the GTA 5, it definitely made its money in the opening week or weekend, or 3 days rather. I don't think that the game is nowhere near 10 or 9s even.
And that's a bold claim. I'm not saying the game's bad by any stretch of the imagination. It's just when it's good, it's fantastic. When it's not good, it's just not fun.
And here is the thing: when you strictly basically follow the quest or keep yourself concentrated on the interesting stuff, it's extremely good.
Yes.
But then when you do, okay, let's just explore, it falls really on its feet, and it's worse than average.
Yeah, there's these homesteads you can go and rob, and basically how you find them is, again, a random encounter on this. When I was riding my horse, surprise, surprise, and there was a prison escapee or something. He's like, "Oh, can you shoot these chains off me?" I'm like, yeah, whatever. You shoot the chains of a prison escapee, and you get plus to your morality.
Yeah.
What?
I got the same thing.
You should get minus. No, it's an escapee from a prison. You should go and bring him in. You do bounty missions, and you're helping a person escape, and you get good points for it. And then, okay, so as payment, he gives you a location of a thing, and those are so far away. They're like, oh, it's this edge of the map, this edge of the map. It takes so long to get there, and then you rob it, and you get like, hell, here's $50.
And it doesn't take you back. You have to ride from there back again.
I didn't ride here for $50. The prisoner said they got a stash of money. I'm here. Where's my stash of money? Moving on. Yesterday, for those of you who didn't miss it, we did a stream on twitch.com. Follow us on twitch.com/gamer101eu. Follow us there, and you'll see some streams in the future. Maybe we'll do something. But we did stream Fallout 76 beta.
Yes, I did indeed, and let me tell you this, I got more fun than the Red Dead Redemption 2 when exploring free roam. That's even bolder claim.
That's very bold claim. Thing is, we did stream it. We were hoping to put it also on YouTube. You can find us also on YouTube channels called Gamer101EU as well. Go check it out. But mistakes were made, and we don't have the video file, or most of it.
But do not despair. We managed to salvage some of it.
We have some of it. So some of it will be on YouTube tomorrow.
That's a bold claim.
Well, tomorrow for the listeners is Tuesday. Or no? Is it not? I don't know what's our schedule. I put this out. I don't know what's the schedule. It's going to be out soon. Probably when you're hearing this, it's maybe out already.
If it is out, we'll put the link in the description below.
Is there a description below? Yeah, on YouTube we have.
On YouTube, yes, that's what I meant.
Oh, that we're on YouTube because this is also on YouTube. Yeah. So, look through the channel. There's maybe a video from Fallout. Anyway, so we did play it. I paid attention somewhat. It looks fun. I take back all the bad things I said. It looks pretty decent, and I don't understand why many of the enemies are taking guns to what is clearly a fire fight.
Yeah, I mean, I've been having plenty of fun actually, and that's only coming from solo playing, which I must say it's clearly visible that the game has been designed to be played with someone. Because when you get into the fight, no matter if it is firefight or some other fight, there are more enemies, or there are quite a number of enemies for just one person to handle. So with more people in the group, it should be much easier, but it's not the end of the world. It's really fun. The map looks beautiful. The dynamic weather and how it all changes looks great, even though it's only the beta, but we all know how it goes.
Yeah, we know that this beta is not a beta. It's the full game.
Yeah, it's the full game, basically the final product.
What are they gonna change in 2 weeks? And if it's going physical copies, so they have to be done like tomorrow, and it needs to go into print.
I'm just curious if someone manages to beat the game just by playing beta, because that would be ridiculous.
Is it even possible?
I don't know, because right now, what is announced, if you get an Xbox, the total playtime is 28 hours, and there will be beta online even the next week, but the dates and the times haven't been published yet. So the beta is online tomorrow, or on Saturday and on Sunday, 4 and 7 hours. So I'll definitely jump right back into it.
Maybe there'll be a stream. Maybe. Probably not.
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
And I'm really surprised because I did some comparisons between the Fallout 4 and Fallout 76, which is roughly 3 years. There is 3 years gap between those, and let me tell you, the feeling of firing is much more. I would almost say alive. You can feel really the weapons. It's not clunky, bugged, and almost like the guns shouldn't be there. In previous Fallout games, guns were kind of either way. Once I found a power armor in the Fallout 4 and a lot of fusion cores, basically I just went everywhere with the fusion power armor, and it didn't matter what weapon you were holding, because you got the extra strength from the whole power armor. So basically even the broom could kill anyone.
There are also power armors in 76. They spent a lot of time on those in the promotional video, or you could see them a lot.
Yes, I even found one, or at least I know the location where power armors can be found, even the different parts for it. Unfortunately, I couldn't take it, which brings us to the issue number 1, which is somewhat connected to the game being kind of, let's call it MMO for now, where when you find a weapon or equipment is locked based. So even though you find
level locks.
Yeah, level locks, to put it simply. So you find a laser rifle or even a piece of armor that is unique, rare, has some special attributes, and unfortunately you cannot equip it because you are not your level isn't high enough, which I completely understand why they are doing it, but it's shocking for the Fallout fans who played previous games because they were single player only and there was no restriction whatsoever.
Yeah, but it makes sense in
yeah, now it makes sense, but
yeah,
because obviously you could just go from the start to get a nuke. What's the name of the gun? Fedman, and yeah, no issues whatsoever except for the ammunition.
But it's perfectly common in multiplayer games that your equipment is somehow level locked, so you don't basically ruin balancing of it. But that being said, they do have this thing where they upscale the enemies to your level. So couldn't they, you have a friend that's been
no
playing...
They don't really it's only certain areas where it does that, and when you play with the groups and you enter the area, it upscales to the level of the friend who entered that area, the first one who entered the area. All the enemies will be basically equivalent to his level.
So we send the level 2 guy into the area first, and then his 3 level 50 friends will come in after him, and they will just kill anyone by looking at them.
The power of mind. It doesn't work anywhere. Oh, it doesn't work anywhere. It doesn't work everywhere.
But is that how it should work?
If I remember correctly, that's how they explained it.
I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Let's put the feelings aside for now.
Okay.
What else could be said? I really love the new special system and how the cards are given to you and how you can choose and preview the card even before you invest the point in one of those 6 categories in special. So before you even go there, you can open it up, see what new card unlocked for you, see if you can get the same card, merge the cards together and equip a more powerful version of the card. That's pretty sweet. The only thing which really bugs me is the hunger and thirst. I know there are perks for those. When you eat something or drink something, it increases your need for food or water by 25 or thirst 50%, but it's still. Now you have to eat, or here's the thing, even when your health is full, you have to eat because your hunger is low.
It's also not a new thing in games, right? Maybe they're also going for that survival game audience of those Rust and 7 Days to Die and these kinds of things.
Okay, so then the whole deal with the let's move your camp wherever you like just by looking at it, that's all right.
That's even more silly now. Yes, that is one of those things I don't really understand. I saw you trying to do it.
I did it successfully.
You did it successfully after the stream?
No, I did it successfully on the stream.
No, you were trying to you were trying to blueprint something
and then afterwards I did it. And I even said like, geez, I moved the camp 10 meters away and I paid 27 caps.
Oh, I didn't look at that time. I just heard you complaining that you spent some caps on something. I'm like,
yeah, and
I was
when I
thinking,
moved the camp.
the idiot moved his furnace for 27 caps. I have questions for Fallout 76 beta because we didn't get questions. So send us questions, dear listener, Twitter. The bot system. So I basically saw you every time you swung your axe. It did a little stutter. The green thing came on, and then it basically cut him. So how does that work? Every attack you do, it goes to the what system or what?
No, the bot system is activated by pressing L1 on the PS4 controller, and it basically autologs the enemy for you. Because when there are a lot of enemies around you, even the collision model or when you hit an enemy, it has never been perfect in Fallout, right? So, but they really wanted to make it simpler for you, and since it's an online game and you couldn't really stop the time there, instead of stopping the time, it auto-locks or it locks onto the enemy, and every hit is guaranteed when you're close to the enemy with a melee weapon.
So when you swung your weapon...
it takes the action points. Once you run out of action points, you get kicked out the what.
So you pressed the button to hit him with the axe?
No, I pressed the button to enter the bot's targeting, then I punched him or I milled. Basically, I hit the enemy.
So to hit an enemy, you need to press two buttons.
Well, not really if you don't want to use the wet.
You were using it with every swing. Is there a chance of not hitting him when you're standing?
Yes, there is.
What?
Because they move rapidly sometimes, and here's the thing: you are fighting one guy, and the other guy comes from behind you. So
yes, but still, you were also doing it when you were standing in front of him and swinging with your axe. I mean, how hard is it to hit someone that's standing in front of you with an axe?
I guess it was just a matter of me being used to it, and it looked cool. And
no, it doesn't look cool. It looked choppy. It almost looked like you had lag or something.
That's what it looked like to you. For one fact, there are still instances when you hit an enemy, there is a delay between you hitting and him dying.
Okay.
Or sometimes you hit an enemy and the sound comes after a second after you hit him. So, but that's not an issue of the wet system. It's the issue of just making the game more optimized and making sure that the collision system or the hit points are flawless almost.
Okay. Is there anything more you want to say about Fallout 76?
I just hope it keeps me engaged even after beating the main story.
Let's move on. BlizzCon's happening as we speak, and there was some exciting news today.
Okay, share it with us, please.
Arguably, the big one is there's a new Diablo coming out.
Is it a true sequel to the Diablo 3?
No, it's actually a prequel. The story will be set between Diablo 1 and 2, I think, or maybe between Diablo 2 and the DLC. Not exactly sure on that one. It will be coming out soon-ish on your mobile devices.
Hell yeah! Rise of the mobile gaming is here. It's happening. So I mean, no wonder I guess now. Okay, let's finish you and let's finish your thought.
Finish me, man. Come on.
Let's finish your thought, and then I believe we can introduce a whole new section or a topic of mobile gaming if it is the future of or portable gaming.
That's what I wanted to get in.
Okay.
Me personally, I know you're different. Me personally, I don't tend to play many games on mobile. I play the games I can play for 10 minutes while I'm in the bathroom or waiting for the bus. Or there are already games like Diablo on mobile. I tried some of them, but this will be a big brand coming to mobile, putting in a full release by a big company. Honestly, people love Diablo, love the brand.
Mm-hmm.
Not much so when 3 came out, there was a lot of negativity, but I think the expansions solved some of that problems. Are you excited for this? Will you be playing Diablo?
First of all, I've never been a crazy fan over the Diablo. I think they were solid games, but then when you get to the max level, and then you are going for Paragon levels, if I'm not wrong, in Diablo 3, and the damage is in millions or even billions. I mean, that's when it really turns into number games.
So this will be a kind of a prequel. It apparently has a story mode, and it's what they are marketing. It's an MMO game. I'm hoping the dungeons and such are not very long. I'm hoping they can be finished in 15 minutes or so. Because if that's the case, I'm in. I'm going to be playing this. If it's not that, I don't know if I want to play it. As I said, I guess people can play it if they like it. They just sit in their bed playing on their phone. I don't understand why would you do that when you have a console, you have a computer, you can go outside and you would play on your stupid little 6-inch telephone.
I mean, 6 inches bigger than Nintendo Switch, so beats that.
You play your Switch on or I play my Switch on the TV.
Yeah, I'll try it as well. That was your original question. I'll try it as well.
But are you excited for it? Do you think this has any hope of being successful?
I'm sure it will be successful, and I'm also sure that the dungeons won't be longer than 15 minutes, because they know that when you play on your mobile, they can't take 30 minutes of your time, even though it's MMO game. So it will be fast, fluid, dynamic, really immersive experience in that sort of way. So dungeons 10 and 15 minutes, have no worries about that. But if it's successful, yes, for sure. The only question that remains is if it's freemium with microtransactions or VIP accounts, or if it's going to have a price tag. That's the only question right now.
Which would be preferable to you, dear audience, and which would be preferable to you?
To me, I'll gladly pay one-time payment €10 without any microtransactions in the game.
What? How much did you say?
10.
This is gonna be like 25 euros.
No way. They can't. Okay, it's Blizzard, so we know what they can do.
Yeah, it's Blizzard Activision, so they can, of course. But there are other games that are very expensive on mobile.
I don't think it will have a price, since none of the MMO game currently is paid, because it makes no sense.
Not a monthly fee, it's buy-in fee, buy the game.
Not even that.
No, it's
right now on the Google Play Store, none of the MMO games that you buy it, and then again you have microtransactions.
None of them is Blizzard Activision.
That also.
There's a lot that can go wrong, and let's hope it doesn't.
There are a lot of money to be made. Fortnite proves it, not only on consoles, but on mobile phones.
Yeah. There's a lot of money to be made on mobile, that's for sure. But to your original questions, I sincerely hope mobile is not the future. If mobile is the future of gaming, I will quit gaming.
Are you afraid that mobile is the future of gaming because you see how trash games are there?
Yes.
Or okay, so if they just a quick thought, 2 days ago the new iPads were introduced. It's the most powerful iPad ever. The starting price is 1,000 or 1,200 euros. But the performance or the graphics performance rivals the Xbox One without the adapter or nothing. It's as powerful as the Xbox One, and they are actually building the games for the iPad. I saw the demo. There was NBA. It had high-res textures. The players were sweating while they were playing. Every single fan was modeled. It wasn't just a blurry image. They were really models of the fans supporting the teams. It really looked amazing.
I mean, sure, because as we said, the companies, they see that this platform, there's money to be made on it. I don't know. I just don't want it. I don't.
Here is the reason why.
Okay, I don't even take my. I don't have an iPad. I have a Samsung tablet. I use it at home to watch Netflix and look up cooking recipes.
Okay.
I don't want to hold it in my hands, this big screen, and be playing a game on it with my thumbs on the screen.
Well, there are already accessories, Bluetooth gamepad.
Then let me play it on my TV if there's a controller to it. And yes, you can stream your screen from your tablet or your phone to your TV, but at that point your tablet or your iPad becomes 4 times the cost Xbox.
Valid point.
So make games that are from the ground up built for the touchscreen, not something that's an afterthought.
Let me make this clear if I am getting you correctly. You wouldn't have any problems with mobile gaming if the games were really optimized for the touchscreen, correct?
Yes, that's why I played these match 3 and puzzle games, because that's how the games work. You touch it and you move it with your finger. It makes perfect sense that that's there.
Then again, there's not really mobile gaming, is
it? It is. That's what mobile gaming is, for me at least.
Okay, we have a different view on mobile gaming.
What's mobile gaming to you?
This is just a fun little game. It's like a Heyday or match the balloons, get to the next level. Mobile gaming is getting AAA games on the mobile phones that outperform in terms of graphics any game there, and it attracts the true gamers. Not because if you play Match the Three stylized, you are not really a gamer.
I am a real gamer. I can prove that. I have like 25 platinum trophies, which I guess is not that much. But for the hardcore crowd, I'm just a noob. That is mobile gaming to me. I wanna play my Match 3 game on my phone. I don't wanna play goddamn Fortnite on my phone. I don't wanna play goddamn Fortnite on my PS4 anymore. But when I was playing Fortnite, I was playing it on my PS4 because it makes sense. Or on the PC, it makes sense. You have a keyboard, you have a mouse. It makes sense to play the game on this. To your point with the Switch, okay, it's small screen, but it has controller. You can either put the controllers on each side or you can have a controller in your hand. At which point, again, I would, if I have a controller in my hand, I would put the Switch in the nest and I would play it on my TV.
Okay.
Back to my point. Fallout Shelter, that was a game built for mobile. I played the hell out of it on mobile. Then, of course, it came to console and I had to do it. Because
okay, so here's the question for you. Yeah? Since it was on a mobile or on a touch screen, it made sense.
Yes,
Why the hell did you play it on console where
there was a platinum trophy?
Okay, that's the only reason.
To be honest, I didn't for the longest time, and then I saw the list and it was like, okay. So I downloaded it. I started playing quotation marks, of course, because you don't really play that. The moment platinum trophy popped, I quit the game. I uninstalled it.
You are a weird man.
That's my story. That's my story of how much I enjoyed it on
no, how much hours you wasted. That's your story.
I didn't waste any hours. It says my playtime is 50 or so hours. It was just...
How much?
It was just on. I was not even home. It was just on.
I may or may not believe you. Because if
I
you
will
say
download
that
it,
you
install it, and I will send you a screenshot of my total playtime.
When you say you basically played the game, no matter where, if you were there or not for 50 hours, which is the same length, more or less, as the Red Dead, there is something seriously wrong with you.
Also, to my point, I liked it on mobile better.
Yeah, of course you liked it on mobile better.
Secondly, on BlizzCon, so we get back to the thing, they also announced next extension for Hearthstone, which coincidentally I also liked more on mobile than on PC. It's so good on the touchscreen. That's the kind of game they need to be making. Also, Overwatch, they're adding a new character. That's all I can say.
Who is it gonna be this time after Wrecking Ball?
It's some woman. I don't know. I didn't really look at it. I'm not interested in Overwatch. Also, there's a Diablo-themed amiibo.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's actually looking pretty good. I liked it a lot. But the biggest, most important thing, there's gonna be a Warcraft 3 Reforged, which is remaster or remake.
No? Got zero comments for
not
that.
Interested? You didn't play Warcraft?
No, I didn't play. I played none of the Warcraft.
Or Frozen Throne? No?
No, nothing.
So
completely out of my league.
What I think they're doing with this is testing the waters for a potential Warcraft 4, which everyone thought it's impossible. No one would be stupid enough to release AAA strategy game, but I think they will do it if this does exceptionally well.
Does it have a release date?
No. So
I know.
Okay.
The time where I rarely win.
You mean never?
Yes.
Okay. Today I made it easy. Again, dear listener, if you're listening, send us some characters so we have some, and also send us questions and send us. Just write us. We want to know you exist. Are you ready to guess who?
Let's go.
All right.
Let's get it on.
All right.
So I can just get into it straight away.
Yeah, you know what your problem is? You're asking the wrong questions.
Well, I rarely win in Guess Who in real life even.
Yeah, but...
Okay, is it male? I mean, the first question is obvious. You always ask the gender, right?
Yes.
It's male.
No.
Okay. So yes or no?
I thought the first... what? You said...
Is it male?
No.
It a male?
I didn't realize you asked the question. I thought you were still telling me that how obvious it is to ask this question.
So, no male. Do I know the character?
Yes. I would not ask of a character I would think you don't know.
Uh, I'm really struggling to
ask a third
raise
question.
different questions. Yes, that as well. But I'm really struggling to ask different questions that I usually do.
Don't worry,
Am I a huge fan of that game?
No, that's subjective. How can I know if you're a huge fan or not? But from what
Do
we
you
talked,
think
not.
okay?
I think.
Does the character have a hat?
Yes.
Yes, I think that was a dumb question, and you said yes. Jesus. Okay, so it's her, and she wears a hat.
Oh,
Not
hat. I heard head.
no hat.
Why
would I ask if the character has a head?
I don't know. If she has a head, sometimes yes.
Sometimes yes. Okay, let me Google female character.
Don't Google, dude. Don't Google this.
Why not?
That's cheating.
Is it the main character in the game?
Yes.
Do you control her?
Yes.
Does she have long hair?
Yes.
Does she have brown hair?
Is
she in her 30s? Is it?
No.
She's not in her 30s.
No.
Okay. Is she an adventurer?
Yes.
Does the game with her come out recently?
Yes.
Is it Lara Croft?
Yes. Ding 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 ding.
I got it finally. So next time it's me preparing a nice trip for you.
I told you this one was easy.
Since when does Lara wear a hat?
I'm sure she wore a hat in at least one of the 1700 games she was in.
Wish you a lot of gaming.
We wish you a lot of gaming.
Yes, we wish you a lot of gaming. I wanted to add something now there, but we wish you a lot of gaming. That says it all for itself. And
sure.
Till next time, Gamer 101 EU signing off. Signing out. Have a nice one.
You almost had it, man. You almost had it, and then you said, you're signing her. Had a stroke at the end of that. Bye.